you guys are doing all right. I'm super kawaii. Hope you guys are super kawaii too. Now I'm about to react to a video, chat. I want to tell you guys how my day went today, but I don't think anybody's gonna care. Plus, depends on what happens in the next couple of weeks are gonna change my life permanently.
Dual gaming setup, complete with incredibly powerful PCs, some of the most high-tech gaming accessories, and of course, incredibly cool lighting designs. This is gonna be the best gaming room I've ever built on this channel, and my most expensive. But there's another reason as to why I'm building it. So, this is my beautiful fiance Emily. We recently just moved house, and in 5 days.
I thought houses. Never mind. Ugh. She really is beautiful, though. I've seen her sister before. I don't even know why I thought. Never mind.
It's Emily's birthday. So I thought it would be a really cool idea is if in those 5 days, I make literally the craziest dual gaming setup for your birthday. And then on your birthday, we just spend all day playing games there. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? That would be amazing. However, you aren't allowed to go in the room, so you've got to disappear. So I have got my friend Adam here to help me out with the room because this is going to be.
You didn't want to surprise her?
Ginormous build, probably the biggest gaming setup build I have ever done. So, and let's go do it. Let's go get it done. In fact, we need to go to IKEA first. Let's do that first. Now we're heading to IKEA because most of the products in my initial design for this room are all IKEA products. So we searched around the entire store to find everything that we needed. We need like a good few of these. Pair them with a few of these Alex drawers. You'll get a mega desk. And although we did find everything that we were looking for, one of these, I actually found a few things I didn't even plan to buy.
Doing. But why is all of the things you're getting from IKEA out of every store in the whole wide world? IKEA? Like, I know IKEA is good for furniture and all, but come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, dude.
But I knew I had to have if this setup was going to be the best one I've ever built. I could literally do this all day. But once we found everything, we were faced with our very first problem.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, there's a lot. Is this going to fit? This is really long. It's like really long.
Adam, this might not. Now, because I have a small car, it's not really designed to carry a lot of IKEA furniture.
Have you seen my seat? Have you seen where I'm going to have to sit?
Yeah, you're gonna have to sit in there. You know what's funny? From this camera, you can't even see you in the back. Now, as we make our way back home, I want to tell you the plan of how we're going to make this room possible. First of all, we need to fill the room with furniture.
Oh my god, it's starting.
Then we need to add some crazy lighting. Oh god, this place.
Oh my gosh. No, bro. Every time these videos test with LEDs. Bro, is it me? Am I the only person that isn't obsessed with LEDs? Like, people are obsessed with LEDs when it comes to these videos. In fact, when it comes to real life, everybody I know has some kind of LEDs in their room. LEDs in their room. Like, it's really crazy, bro. This guy doing. I quit my job. How to make training arc? Technoblade. Alright. Thank you, Technoblade Tribute. King. Bro. Know what? Anything's possible through the power of Jesus, bro. Almost every top creator has done this by getting it out the mud, bro. So you can too. Good job. And the illusions of fake stories. That's later on. Bro, I I think I'm still shadow banned. I'm gonna give it 8 minutes. Going to give it 8 minutes. I built my smart garden. I'm like a zombie.
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
Yeah,
What is it, high?
I got a 190.
No,
I've been honest about everything else. You don't have any reason to suspect I'm a liar.
you're right. Well, you troll. Your voice makes me like you could be lying. Because it's not your real voice.
Is that mic on? No, it is my real voice.
The mics are on. It is kind of your real voice, but like a little bit,
No, this is how I talk.
Well, yeah, on content. I wonder how you talking normal, like to your parents.
Like this.
No. Can we hear the real voice for like...
This is how I speak, I don't speak any other way.
On the internet?
No matter where I am.
You're true.
I mean, I used to speak differently. If you find one of the videos when I was 12 talking about the Chinese politics.
Yeah, I have. You actually can't write
Okay.
Hong Kong on the NBA jerseys. I think I don't remember what, but I know there was a lot of stuff that
Have you ever taken an IQ test?
Bro, puberty hits different, bro. You guys see my voice, bro. My voice just got deeper. My voice just got... Alright, let me cut it out. Let me cut it out. Sign off for now. Kai Cenat's fake receipts keep coming. Chat files. Casually explained billionaire.
This video is brought to you by Incognito. Now, the difference between an average person and a billionaire is essentially zero. Unfortunately, about 9 of them. Nevertheless, if you're a regular person, you walk around the same streets as both the Riff, the RAF, and professionals all the same. You probably know people who still live at home, friends slumming it with roommates, couples sharing a 2-bedroom, and high earners with a single-family home, a dog, 2 kids, and the white picket fence, giving you a decent perspective of life for the average person. But when you're so rich that money basically doesn't matter, everything changes completely. One unavoidable characteristic of becoming a billionaire is that you end up in such an isolated social circle that you often cease to relate to the common person and your life becomes unrecognizable. For this reason, billionaires actually have more in common with the homeless than they do with most people. Doesn't pay taxes, undiagnosed mental illness,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Billionaires do too much sometimes. Like, they will literally try everything in their power not to pay taxes, bro. Almost like hilarious. There's whole systems like made for that, bro. Like, damn, bro, paying taxes is not that bad.
kind of drugs you don't even know how to get and never even heard of the Epstein files. Now, it's natural to look at your life where you work 40 hours a week for just enough to scrape by and think, how does someone even get to be a billionaire in the first place? It's really pretty simple. At some point or another, we've all had the genius thought, what if 1 million people just gave me $1? It would barely inconvenience them, but then I would have $1 million. While most of us stop at this fantasy, impressed by our own raw ingenuity, some people throughout history have gone further, extrapolated on this scheme, and invented what is known today as a business. As an example, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph thought, what if you give me $16 every month and I mail you Shrek 2 on DVD? Easy $6.5 billion. Elon Musk said, what if you give me $8,000 and I pretend to give you a self-driving car every year for the next decade? Richest man on earth. Mark Zuckerberg said, what if I give you an app that collects all of your personal information in a giant database that I own, and you give me a heat lamp and a bowl of grasshoppers? To really drive home how much wealth billionaires have, when someone says they're a billionaire, they're one of only 800 people in the United States. In contrast, if someone says they're a millionaire, it means they have a house. While politically it's commonplace.
Oh, I thought it. Yo, I was tweaking for a second. Only 3,000 billionaires, bro. You guys, mind you. Bro, what am I on? Let me. Mind you, that's only the that's only 0.0000375% of our damn, bro, am I tripping? I can't talk.
Place for progressives to hate billionaires because they epitomize late-stage capitalism. I don't make fun of billionaires because I have an ideological bone to pick. I make fun of them because they're really fucking weird. Recently, Peter Thiel, a tech billionaire and right-wing ideas guy, appeared on a podcast and was asked if he thought the human race should survive. He then stammered over the question for 15 seconds before reluctantly answering with the classic, "Yes, but." Now, I'm no expert in media training, but as I frequently tell Putin, Hamas, and Benjamin Netanyahu,
Is he not a human or something? What? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna hold it into myself. Just in case I ever become a big YouTuber, bro.
Yahoo on our weekly Zoom meetings, the correct answer to human rights questions is always to say yes right away and only reveal later that you had your fingers crossed out of frame. Billionaires like Thiel are almost alarmingly out of touch with how to communicate with the general public because even though he can understand a regular person's life conceptually, he can't relate to them on a personal level. For example, I get really hot at night when I go to bed, so I like to turn the temperature way down, whereas Thiel prefers to sleep in a deep freezer he lays down like a sarcophagus. Now, the good news is that not all billionaires base their whole personality on World of Warcraft expansions and name their company after the magic rock Sauron used to corrupt weak minds and manipulate their will. Warren Buffett, for example, has not only pledged all of his wealth to charity after he dies, but he also still lives a very humble life in his house in Omaha that he bought in 1958 using the change he picked up off the ground. Nevertheless, most billionaires don't do much to shake off the public image that their whole existence is just about lording over their minimum wage warehouse workers as they Zillow the next 2,000 hectares of farmland to buy, sip their cognac, and mutter to their Siamese cat what pleasure it brings them to see the peasants toiling for their coin. But this isn't how billionaires run companies, this is how Mr. Beast comes up with video ideas. The ethical question of should there be billionaires at all is one of the most hot-button issues around right now.
Why? What on earth would one human need $1 billion for? Gang, you would have to spend $10,000 every single day for 10 years to get rid of $2 billion. Gang, that is enough to buy everything in my life and more. Like, realistically, $2 billion, you can buy all of the clothes I own, all of the clothes my family own. You can buy all of our houses. And I'm not just talking about this family. I'm talking about my family overseas, the people who I call my family that aren't really like blood related. Like, $2 billion is too much. Like a millionaire, okay. I can, like, that's crazy, but all right, bro.
Because wealth inequality has been steadily increasing decade over decade, and many people believe that billionaires don't pay their fair share. This is of course ridiculous, as billionaires get divorced all the time. With that said, it is a common belief that if the government were to confiscate everyone's personal wealth above $999 million, this would lead to a dramatic improvement in the standard of living for the average person. Problem is, even if you were to yoink every stock, bond, and square inch of real estate a billionaire owns, liquidate all of it to straight cash while somehow getting market value, in the US you would get about $6.22 trillion, which would cover 11 months of government spending, or every person in the country would get a one-time payment of around $18,000. While this is nothing to scoff at, if you're one of the people who says we should eat the rich, it's important to consider that the average inheritance in the US is $46,000, meaning you would make more money if you ate just one of your parents.
Have you seen that ad?
Bro, my idea for like a good country is to tax everybody 25% of like all their paychecks and stuff. I don't know if that's a dumb idea or it's actually a smart idea, but when I say everybody, I mean actually everybody. Make a separate part of the organ of like the whatever, the government, so that they can regulate the money. Nobody can mess with it. Especially if you're in a corrupt country or something, nobody can mess with it. Nobody can say, oops, I don't know where it went. I remember when oh my gosh. Oops.
The pawns to the left and to the right. +2, -3, kind of a
Like, bro.
running forward and getting
Your parents.
Like, but if you actually tax every single last person $25, then I think that should be enough. Really? Like, to rebuild everything, finish building off everything without taking too much from people. Like, I don't think it's too much, and I don't think it's too little. Like, taxing 3% is low key. You're not changing anything, bro. At that point, don't even tax us at all. But taxing like 50% is too much, bro. Like, that's actually crazy, bro.
Now, because they can't yet buy more of it, billionaires are experts at managing their time. While flying private is out of reach for most of us, there are other tips you can copy from billionaires to save time in your own life. For example, when I make a new account on a website, I save time by letting Chrome auto-generate an encrypted password. I got this idea.
My eyes are black, bro.
Cap, there's still plenty of side quests for you to do. While most regular people spend their time playing video games, doing arts and crafts, or playing a sport, billionaires can choose more exotic things like getting bullied on Twitter, criticizing the Chinese government exactly one time, paying pro athletes to make you feel talented, leaving the planet in search of any novelty that will make the emptiness go away, paying to boost your Path of Exile account, then streaming it to prove to anyone who doubted your multidisciplinary genius that they were in fact correct, exploring the bottom of the ocean to uncover its lost secrets, and of course exploring the bottom of the ocean and then dying instantly. In reality, when you're worth even hundreds of millions of dollars, an ultimately rookie amount, you can pretty much have anything you want. Penthouses, luxury cars, private chef, private plane, giant house, and another giant house in a poor country that kinda sucks but has good weather, and you're not sure if purchasing power parity means the gardeners are getting paid well by their standards, or if you just own slaves. With this in mind, if you are a billionaire, it's actually pretty hard to think of a way to flex on multi-millionaires, meaning the 23-year-olds on Raya who look like they're 35 aren't gonna message you back. That is, of course, until you remember what separates the centimillionaires from the billionaires. Big boat. Ask a girl if she'd rather be stuck in the middle of a forest with a random bear or a random man, and she picks the bear every time. Ask a girl if she'd rather be stuck in the middle of the ocean with a random shark or stuck in the middle of the ocean with a random Saudi man, and she picks Muhammad every time. This is because men in the forest are
Yo, that's kind of crazy to say. Bro, that's kind of crazy to say. Muhammad.
broke, meaning they'll try to touch your boob. Whereas men on yachts are rich, meaning they have grown weary of material desires and flew you out business class for your quirky personality. While no one has tried to sex traffic me yet, the closest I've been able to get so far was when I was on a holiday in France several years ago and made a day trip to Monaco. Now, for people not in the know, Monaco is a tiny sovereign nation basically inside France and is like a Vatican City tax haven for the ultra-wealthy. They have a little garden you can look at near the Monte Carlo Casino, which was the only thing I could afford. And as you walk through, you're like, oh, look, a little building. Hopefully this one's a bathroom. Nope, just another Audemars Piguet watch kiosk. Then you pee on it anyway because you're in Europe. Other than this neat oceanographic museum, what I thought was the coolest part of Monaco was the port, which was divided into sections based on how important people in Monaco thought you were. In the very inner part of the harbor, you have the literal wage slave section, which is basically all the yachts that I would see back home. Then there's Worthless, which had the biggest yachts I have ever seen in real life prior to this.
That's
After that,
crazy.
you have Starter Yacht, which are like floating New York City penthouses. Then the last section in the
That's
harbor
crazy.
is, finally, a real yacht, which is one giant pier for the 2 or 3 mega yachts that rule the Monaco postcard photo and cost at least $100 million each. Obviously, you don't stop there because these things are a dime a dozen. So then you go out in the ocean and you get, what is this, a harbor for ants? Now, you might be thinking what I was thinking at the time, which was, even if you were a billionaire, why on earth would you want a mega yacht so big you can't even...
I don't know, bro. Millionaires do weird things. See you later. See you later, folks. Before I go.
5 most painful alarm clocks in the world. Number 5 is the dumbbell alarm, which doesn't just get you out of bed, but you actually have to do 30 bicep curls to turn the thing off. It's only 0.6 kilos, but still, not a fun way to wake up. The shooting target alarm clock is even worse, because the further away you put the thing, the harder it is to actually hit it and stop it. Come on! Oh, for goodness sake. Oh. The flying alarm clock is a literal nightmare. The Because the second the alarm goes off, this propeller takes off into your room and you can't even predict where it's going to end up. But Clocky is guaranteed to get you out of bed. Because it will literally jump off your counter and drive away from you until you catch it. The Sonic Bomb alarm clock is meant to be so loud that any more than 1 minute of exposure to it can cause hearing damage. And it also comes with a supercharged vibrator for your bed. Oh my god.
That is not. I was expecting something scary, bro. Anyway, that's it, folks. See you later. That was kind of crazy.